Hello, welcome to another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Nicole.
And I'm Quana Terry. And tonight we have a great show lined up for you. We're going to talk about a little bit, of course, of politics, entertainment news, and as well as um, relationships. So, Nicole, let's start it out.
All right. So it's crazy because once again, Megan Stallion and Tory Lane is in the news again. Okay, so apparently Megan is getting a restraining order against him uh, while he is in prison. And it's so crazy because I think it's really Rock Nation that's getting it, but she's on the Rock Nation label, and he's like really upset about this. He's basically saying, they already took him away from his 7-year-old son. What else? What else is it that they want from him? What do you think about this?
I try not to comment on that situation, but at this point, it's almost like the boy who cried wolf because literally the court filed over 40 pieces of evidence indicating that he was like guilty, right? One. Two, from what I understand, and me following the story back then, Meg didn't even want to see him locked up, right?
Mm.
But she was subpoenaed to court. That means that she's legally forced to testify against him, okay? She said what she said, and the repercussions from that happened. The third point I want to make is that the judge literally looked at evidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
That stated that he was still harassing her or messing with her while he was behind bars.
Mm.
He's saying that he's still a threat to her. So that's where the restraining order comes in,
Right.
And it's like, sir, stop trying to act like you're innocent. You know what you're doing. And if the judge can rule in her favor in regards to that, that means there has to be surmounting evidence that showed that you are harassing her from behind bars. And you're talking about your 7-year-old son. Excuse me, why do we now all of a sudden have to think about him when you weren't even thinking about him?
Damn, that part.
Keep it moving, boy. Bye. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But
It's true. Like, people can't just go and get an order of protection. There has to be probable cause in order for them to submit it. So
exactly, I'm completely opposed to innocent Black men getting accused unjustly. I'm completely opposed to that.
Right.
I fight for those types of issues. But in this case, this is not one of them. He is not one of the men that is being accused unjustly. He did the deed, and these are the repercussions behind that.
I mean, he did state that he didn't do it. I don't understand. There's a lot of things that a lot of speculation about him not doing what was said that he did. So apparently they said it was a woman who actually did, what happened. But we weren't there. So
R. Kelly said it wasn't him. Remember, it was twin brothers. Stop, okay? And now he's behind bars. Now, come on, Nicole.
I'm done with this one, right?
I am just not with that.
Oh man, she brought in R. Kelly, guys.
the evidence is there, and it points to her needing a restraining order while he's in prison because of the egregious acts against her. Like even I remember when this whole thing was playing out, and then when the state picked up the charges on him, he was acting so aggressive on the internet. And I get that. I get that you're upset or whatever else, but you're not making yourself look any better. So there's evidence that points to him being an aggressor, being, taunting and gaslighting. There's evidence that points to that. So if that is the case, and they're saying that, okay, he's still a threat, and if he's not a threat, the people that he knows are a threat to her, okay, restraining order, period.
Okay. And let's move on. So I came across something that said, in Chicago, there's a landlord that basically ordered. They were ordered to pay 80,000 to their previous tenant, because he threatened to call ICE on them. Now the crazy thing is, this happened back in June of 2020, and it happened because the landlord tried to get the tenant to give him July's rent, but the tenant was moving out. So it was like a argument going back and forth.
Okay.
So the guy decided to say he's gonna, call ICE, to get them deported.
Oh no! All right, so take me into the case. What grounds are they making them pay this money on?
So the crazy thing is, there is now a law for that they are basically upholding, and this law is basically states that you cannot legally threaten someone with calling ICE. So
justicia. Yes, I love when justice prevails. I love when the law works in our favor.
Yes. That's awesome, because it's crazy, because I see a lot of landlords who feel that they only rent to certain people, to immigrants, because they know if they say anything about the rent, they will either leave, they will pack up. Honestly, I've seen it with my own eyes. They will be there. Let's say they're here today. Tomorrow, the entire house will be vacated. It's just so weird. And I think that, and I'm so glad that they actually put a law in place that they can't do this, because that's wrong on so many levels.
That, and the fact that the tenant actually advocated for themselves and kept it going. Like, did not give up, because, hey, you know what? You're wrong. And now, you know what? I have pain and suffering. I keep looking over my shoulder to see whether or not ICE is going to come for me, because I'm not giving you rent that you don't rightfully deserve. Okay? I'm kudos to them for doing that and taking the law in their hands and making it work for them. Kudos to them.
Yeah, let me tell you another story about this whole situation with ICE and how it got everybody shook, and that in the immigrant communities, right? This young man told me that he works for the post office. He rang the doorbell because he had a package for them to sign for.
Okay.
He's not in uniform. Okay. Everybody knows the new carriers do not have uniform, but this family was so shook. They said, no, we're not opening the door. And he's like, what am I supposed to do? So he ended up signing for them and leaving him right there. He left it right there. He was like, I'm not bringing this back. I was like, that's crazy. They're so shook about this whole ICE situation that they're not even willing to open the door for the mail carrier.
Yeah, that's insane. It's a level of PTSD, and
yes,
whether or not they're here illegally, that's another part of it. But they're still human beings, right? And they're not cattle. They're not people. Things that need to be treated, a certain way, like animals. They're human beings, and we need to treat them as such. I think that it's not necessarily the fact that they're going to come to get them, but it's the conditions in which they put them in when they do come to get them. Okay, so I've made a life for my family here, and we're working and we're doing what we're doing, but now I have to go into these conditions, or on this bus into these conditions that are deplorable, and not even considering my rights.
That part.
So you don't feel that I have a right.
Yeah.
You don't feel I have a right. That I don't know. That's not cool.
And it's so crazy because, and on the topic of this ICE organization, there are people who put in to get their immigration papers, and they literally was waiting like 2-3 years for their appointment. There's a couple that actually got the appointment. Let's say this one lady got the appointment, and they came and deported that person. I don't think that's right. Because if the people already put the paperwork, if it's everything is already put in place and they're just waiting for that appointment, and the appointment was the very next day, that's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. That right there alone should not be done. And I feel that that's unjustifiable because they're here. They did the paperwork. Why are you sitting up there targeting that person? Because there are people that do come here legally. They do cross the border. They do certain things. I understand that we gotta uphold the laws in regards to that, but the people who actually are here, who did their part, who are going through the process, why are you going for those people?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's right at all, and it's crazy because our, president, his family are immigrants. You know, the wives, his former wife, current wife, all immigrants. They came over here too. So it's like, why are you just targeting these people? It doesn't make any sense to me. What's your thoughts on that one?
I think that it is I think the reason why they're targeting, and I'm not saying that it's right, mainly is because most people come over here and they do live under the radar. They don't go and try to get the necessary or go through the necessary channels to get their citizenship. A lot of people are just here to work and they send their money back to their family.
They do.
And it doesn't go into the economy, the American economy. So I think that, unfortunately, they're grouping everyone together. There are people who are going through the necessary channels to do what they do, like that couple that you just mentioned. But it is a part of the whole thing. It's like, if you don't have it, if on paper you don't have it now, all right, you gotta go. And the way that they're doing it, I do not agree with. I think that there has to be a different system, but I don't know what that system would be, what that entails. So,
I believe we spoke about this a few episodes ago. There was a young lady who basically she was home with her family, and ICE came and they were basically demanding that she open the door. Mind you, she's a citizen.
Yeah.
They came to the house to look for her uncle who wasn't even in the home. Yeah. And they were threatening her to say that they will take, if she doesn't open the door, that they was going to take everyone down. It didn't matter if they was citizens or not.
Take me. I'm a citizen and I'm going to sue you.
Oh no. She actually called out her Fourth Amendment, right? She was quoting it, and they didn't get inside, and no one in that house went anywhere.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, I am so glad that that young lady was home, because only God knows what would have happened if she wasn't. Because the person that you came there for is not even there. He's not there. So what are you doing? Like, he's not there. That's like someone coming to your home. Let's say there's a sex offender that lives in your home, and they sit there, come with this paper, they looking for this person. This person doesn't live in your home.
Yeah.
But they demand to search the premises. No, you do not have the right to search my premises. You can. I don't give you the right. So no, I don't give you the authorization. So no, you got to know your rights. Because if that person that they're looking for is not there, why are you trying to force or thinking that you're going to scare somebody, using a scare tactic to get somebody to do, what it is that you want them to do? That's just ridiculous.
Very true. Very true. I'm glad that they knew their rights. The person that we talked about, the tenant knew their rights. I'm glad that this young lady knew her rights, and that's the crux of this message. Know your rights so that you're not caught out there in a situation that is unfavorable to you.
Okay, so we heard about Angie Stone, sadly losing her life on March 1st due to a horrific car accident that apparently was struck by an 18-wheeler and caused her truck to flip 3 times. And There were 9 other people in the vehicle with Angie Stone, but she was the only one who had cancer.
That is so sad.
Yeah,
When I heard about it, I was just like, no, not another one.
I know.
Um, People are leaving this earth. Um, and I know that the only thing that's guaranteed in life, death is guaranteed.
Hmm.
But when it happens like this, and especially when she was the only one that passed away, it just gets me to thinking like, what is going on?
Yeah,
Um, it really sad, but I'm going to miss her contribution to R&B, miss her contribution basically to the genre. I still sing Black Brother, I love you, I'll never try to hurt you. I'm like, it's just, she is just a force. And she will be missed. And I know that so many people actually have put things on the internet in regards to her mourning her death. And she was a light. And,
yeah,
know, but some things I don't understand. But if God says it, if He wills it, that settles it. Um, there will be two. I guess there's going to be a celebration of life for her, as
hmm,
well as a funeral. Celebration of life will be in Austell, Georgia, and
okay,
for those people who are in Georgia or who just want to go and celebrate her life, there's a celebration of life at the World of Faith Cathedral in Austell, Georgia. It's going to be at 11 a.m. and I believe that you have to register online to attend that. That's going to be on Friday, March 14th. And then the next day, there's going to be her funeral set at 12 noon in Columbia, South Carolina, at the First Nazareth Baptist Church. So two-day events, celebration of life in Austell, Georgia, and then in South Columbia, South Carolina, her funeral will be held at First Nazareth Baptist Church. Our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to the family and friends of Angie Stone, and we pray that everything goes well during this time, and I pray that you're comforted during this time, because I know it's going to be tough, especially when it's so sudden like that.
yeah.
You know,
The sad thing is, though, she basically was fighting the record labels because she had to been receiving her royalties, and I don't know. It's like she goes and she puts this in, and then this happens. I don't know.
and
There's a lot of speculations about what happened to Whitney, then Michael Whitney, then Prince, now her, in regards to the record labels. So anybody who's out there, and who is in the industry, just be careful at this time, because I don't know who these people are. I don't know if this is a true, these are true statements or whatever, but it's scary in these streets when it comes to the record labels.
and that's something that I didn't want to touch on, because it is a little funky funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
In regards to the fact that she was the only one that succumbed to her injury. And it's like, And from what I understand, and I may be wrong, they were saying that the van crashed, and then it was hit by a tractor trailer afterwards. So it was like, so I don't.
I didn't see that. It said that the accident was caused by the 18-wheeler.
Okay, it
I,
was
I
called.
mean, but listen,
Listen,
I could be wrong.
I'm
There's
not
so much
like,
stuff out there.
in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So the van crashed, and then the tractor trailer just came in and just hit
So
it.
the crazy thing is, so on the highway. You know how that it's like going in opposite direction, and in the middle there's that the greenery area, the grass, right? She like her vehicle was like on the side on the grass, right? The 18 wheeler was like literally across the grass. It like literally went to the other side. So I don't know what caused it. All I know is when you see, because it was everywhere. The person that was recording it didn't even know it was Angie Stone in the vehicle. And they're recording it because they see the accident, and her vehicle was like just laying to the side, and after it flipped, obviously, and then the 18 wheeler was like literally like across the street, across the field. So I'm not too sure, but everyone that was involved in the accident, we wish them a speedy recovery, of course. And it's just sad that Angie had to pass and had to pass that way. It's weird.
Yeah. And once again, our thoughts and prayers go out to family and friends of Angie Stone, and of course those people who were injured in the crash as well. Hopefully we're hoping and praying for a speedy recovery.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're gonna segue into the next topic. So do you think it's important to converse about your previous partner, with your significant other?
Do you?
Do I?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I don't have a problem with talking to my person about my previous partners at all. I don't have anything to hide, so because I'm not with that person anymore. I'm with this person, and 9 times out of 10 they already know everything. Because I have the gift to give, obviously, and I feel that I overshare, which I'm trying to like back that up, because I think you don't have to talk about them, but it's good so they can understand where you are in regards to the relationships, and how you are able to handle certain things and stuff like that. But I don't think that you need to get into like details about your previous people. What about you?
I think that we can have a conversation about it, especially if these people are going to be a constant part of your life. And when I say constant, I mean those people that you have children with. I think that it's important for me to know whether or not that ended on a smooth note. If that person still has a thing for you, I think it's important for me to know that, because that can potentially put a strain on our relationship. Because if they still have feelings for you, there may be a tug of war in certain cases with the child. So if I am prepared for that, then I can kind of ease into it a little bit better. I think it's important for us to talk about our sexual health. Finding out, okay, I don't need to know how many partners you had, but I do know how you are, like how healthy you are sexually. So I need that. But talking about anything else, with the exception of like, listen, I'm trying to stay away from that dude because he's trying to kill me. I'm trying to stay away from that woman because she's aggressive and she's abusive. Okay, I get that part. Thank you for letting me know that. Like things that I'm supposed to know, that I should know, that may be detrimental to our relationship. Yeah, I would want to know that. Everything else, no, I don't need to know the ins and outs of your relationship. I don't need to know that.
So that's crazy. You just mentioned you don't need to know how many sex partners. There are some people that think that their relationship, will be doomed if their partner slept with a certain amount of, people. What's your thought on that? Because that's I think that's a bit redundant, but what about you?
I am learning not to ask questions. I do not want to know the answer. But we need to go and get our driver licenses, right? Because before we put that car in first gear, I need to know if you're okay. And you're not going to print no paper out talking about negative, negative, negative. No, sign into your my chart, sir. Okay, and let me see what you have going on in there. It's a big red flag if you ask for that information and that person does not want to provide it. That's a flag. That's like exit stage left red flag.
That's a whole fact right there.
Continue on to second gear. But as long as we have that, yeah, okay. Like I'm not going to judge you for what you've done in the past. As long as you're okay, your sexual health is fine. I know that I'm okay, and we're moving on together. Okay, we're
right.
Good.
I mean, we all have a past, so it doesn't matter what you did back there. All that matters is that you're here in the present with me, and we're moving forward. That's it.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, listen, like you said, past is your past. There's nothing I can do about it. You're gonna say, "Oh man, I should have met you 20 years ago." Get out of here. It's not being realistic, especially if got men who have had partners early on in their lives. Women as well. I'm not going to fault you for that. So yeah,
well, there's also people that when, let's say, you and your partner break up temporarily, like for a month or whatever, and your partner ends up getting with someone else. I mean, we're all human, and I'm not shaming no one for doing this if you've done it, okay? But this one particular person, like, they was basically saying that the other person cheated on them on the break, mind you, cheated on them because, it happened within a 30-day period or something like that.
So he was like, "Oh, we on a break? All right, let me go see what I can get into."
I mean, listen, it is what it is. You can't fault no one for doing something when you're on a break. That's number one, okay? Whatever happens before you guys get back together, that is done. Like, there's no need for you to know anything that took place. That is none of your business. The moment you guys decided to come back together, that's when you worry about it. You don't worry about what happened a day ago. You worry about what's going forward. That's it.
Correct. We decided to take a break. I did what I did. You did what you did. Okay. All right. Now we're back on. Woohoo! We're back on. Okay. If you let me know, okay, we had that conversation. Okay, I slept with this person, or I slept. We had this conversation, and it's like, all right, well, you know what we need to do? Let's go get our driver license. Because I don't know what you did outside of that. So yeah, don't bring anything back to me. So,
all right.
I wouldn't get upset because we were on a break. It's different. Like, and you're not privy to that information. You're not entitled to that information. Oh, so who'd you mess with? Mind your business.
That's the question right there. And I'm like, yo, if you do not want to know the answer to that question, please don't answer it. Don't ask the question, but you don't want to hear the answer.
Hey,
okay? Ain't nobody sitting at home twiddling their thumbs. I mean, some people are, and that's their preference. But then you got some other people that sit up there and be like, "Oh, well, I'm single. Okay, well, let me go over here and handle with Mary Kate and Ashley over there."
Right, and they'd be well within their rights. They're not cheating on you. They're not doing any of that. So, like you said, if you don't want to know the answer, don't ask the question. Because especially if you can't handle it. No, just we saw other people. You don't need to know the ins and outs. Let's go get this test, boo. Period.
Okay, yeah. So to going back to the topic that we was talking about, if you sit up there and you're speaking to your person about your previous person, have you ever, or would it matter in whatever it is that your person is saying about their previous person, right? Would you get mad at anything that you've heard? Or are you just, taking it as information, y'all laughing about it and moving on?
If I'm getting mad about what I've heard in regards to
Anything. Anything. It doesn't matter if it's if they're talking about a sexual encounters, or because you got some people that talk about what they did with their ex in regards to sex. If it was in regards to let's say that person was at that person's house, and you guys are together and you just finding out about some situation, but this is in regards to their previous partner. Anything, like just anything.
what you did with your previous partner.
Agreed.
I'm not going to get upset about it. There's no comparison, right? Because I am who I am and she is who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Different styles, different person. You can't compete where you don't compare. We're not the same.
And even if you do, if there is some form of comparison, clearly he's with you. You want to be with that person, and that's that. Like, two people can do the same thing, but only one person is going to get to that. Get to the core of that. Of that issue, the way you like it to be. Because when two people come together, it's all about chemistry. And um, it
I
doesn't
mean,
matter if. Hmm?
one person in the Tootsie Roll, in a Tootsie Roll pop. Yeah. It
Oh,
takes some,
girl.
it's longer for some, but
How many licks does it get? Listen, but that's what I'm saying. Because you got people that always want to sit there and emulate what you do, but they don't
copycat.
get the same results. You can't, like, you are who you are. They are who they are. Okay, it doesn't matter if I do a little trick and they try to do the little trick. It ain't gonna be the same trick at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
First of all, I'm not supposed to know what tricks you're doing. We're not having that conversation.
Oh my
Me,
gosh.
me and my significant other are not having a conversation about what you used to do to him. We're not doing that.
That's
I
a
don't,
great yo.
because I'm building new memories. I am building I'm building it on a different foundation. So I don't care about what you do. I don't care about what you used to do. I don't care. I have no interest in knowing that. But interest that I have is in the right now
Mm-hmm.
and what we are doing, what him and I are building together right now. I don't care about none of that other stuff.
Totally agree. Now, my next question, I'm piggybacking off of what you just said. What if, what would you do if you find out this dude brought something back to you to try it out with you because they heard or they seen or whatever, or they remembered something, and you heard that this is what this person used to do with the other person, or this is what the other person used to do to him, and he wanted to sit up there and see if you can do the same thing. What would you do?
I listen, that's okay. It's always gonna be a level. You go back to what's familiar, right? I think. And listen, if the cherry popping with that move, then okay, I'm not gonna try to compete, but I need to bust the funky dope moves too. Right? I need to bust the
Oh
moves
man,
as well. Like, okay,
absolutely.
there's more than one way to skin a cat, right? So okay, I get that you like that. Well, let me just see if you get that same you get that same result with what I know how to do.
It's never the
I,
same.
All right.
It's never the
And
same.
listen, we just have to be open minded, right? And go from there. Now, if that's something that you like, okay, do it like this. Okay, calm down. Hell, sir. Okay, calm down, sir. But I get it. Like, especially when you're in a new relationship, you don't know what each other likes unless you're told, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
you do it automatically comes, but there are times it doesn't come like that. And the only way that you get to the center of the Tootsie Roll pie, talk about it. And you
Mm-hmm.
tell that person exactly what you want. So even if that person used to do it with the previous partner, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's still not, you're not the same. So he's gonna get a different, he or she's going to get.
Agreed. All right, so on that note, I'm going to piggyback off of what you just said. In regards to it don't become a situation until your person or you end up bringing another person into the mess, and either one of you guys bring whatever it is that you learned to your current situation.
Well,
I'm a share a little situation that I know about. I know this couple, and it was crazy because she was cheating, and in that situation, she learned a thing or two from her person, brought it back to the person she was living with, and he realized because she learned a trick or two, and he got upset about it or whatever the case may be. But listen, things like that happen all the time. And I mean, the type of trick that she learned, he was, crushing in a lot of things, because she didn't do that before. So it's like,
okay,
hey,
the cheating I don't agree with. Okay,
agreed.
but if I learn a thing or two, and I'm coming back and I'm busting the stupid, funky, dope moves on you, I call that character development. Okay.
Wow. No. Yes, we don't condone cheating on this channel here, okay? But I
Okay.
mean, learning new tricks is always cool. You always would like to better yourself in every area.
Character
So,
development. Okay. That
no.
listen, listen. Okay. It would have been different if they were on a break and she learned the new move and then came back and did it.
Absolutely.
How was it different? It's not.
It's
She
not
learned,
different.
she learned something new and she was like, "Oh, let me try it on him." The point. Listen, did he like it?
I don't know if he liked it or not, but I know he noticed the things that she did. I asked the question. I did
He
ask
liked.
that question.
He
And
liked it.
he kind of, diverted from that because the type of trick it was, he didn't want to say if he liked it or not, because I know a lot of people, dudes, that wouldn't be too happy with that trick.
Oh, oh. So it was ooh, it was that. Oh, okay. Oh, he liked it. He liked it. He was mad that she busted the funky dope moves with somebody else and brought it back, and it wasn't with him first. That's what that was. But
Ooh,
whatever.
listen. That's you probably right on that one. You probably right. But
So
I don't know.
I
Okay.
don't. I don't think anything wrong with it. I don't think that because we do different things with different partners. And I'm still perfecting my craft.
I
Okay,
mean, we all are.
I'm
I
still.
like learning new things all the time. I like trying new things. I
Yeah.
like doing all of that. Like, so if you sit up there, then you have to renew a lot of things within yourself, and you can't cut yourself off. Because a lot of people, I know somebody that they always talk about, oh, I would never do that. Why would you say never? Never's a long time. Could never
Listen,
say never.
listen. We have to renew our registration after a year. We have to renew our insurance after 6 months most times. We have to renew our driver's licenses. Like, we need to renew that, to keep the
To
you know
spice it up.
keep it spicy,
Yes.
just to keep it.
Revamp yourself.
And that's okay if you're doing it with your partner, right? If you're doing it
Absolutely.
with your partner, then that is okay. I'm busting dope moves on people from stuff I learned back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same situation. The thing about that is that he was upset, cheated.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, whatever. Once you get past that part, did you like it, sir?
Inquiring minds would like to know.
You like it. All right, if you did, all right, let's incorporate to our daily routine. You know? And that's it. Like, come on, we can't get hung up on the things that really don't matter. Now the cheating part, that matters. I get it. And that's another topic. But if this in general, when you're learning a new move and you end up using it, you had a boyfriend from a year ago and use it on your new boyfriend now, it's like, okay, all right, we in there. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Then you just don't do it. But that's the part of exploring each other's bodies and making sure that you're both satisfied. Like, come on.
But you can also improve on it so that way you guys are both, enjoying the
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
So it's all about you guys' body and how you guys become one in that particular situation.
Yeah. Like, it's like if somebody asks you, how do you like a particular move? And you're like, I really like when you don't have to say I like when my ex used to do this.
No, please don't do that.
That's what I draw the line. Like, my ex used to no, sir. But you can
But
say
go back to your ex then.
I'm not going to.
Respectfully.
But it's more like, right. This is what I know I like. So can we have it together? And then you build upon it together.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a mature person. It's okay, and it's not saying that you're not doing it right, but it's like, come on, give me what I like. You gonna tell him what to do when he beatboxing, right?
Yeah.
If it ain't right, you beatboxing wrong. The boo boo boo, it's not right. You're not doing it right. So you're gonna tell him exactly what it is, right? So why can't he do the same? And you both, I think you have a better experience for you.
I think so. I think so as well. Just keep an open mind. When you keep an open mind, you learn a thing or two. Trust me, and you like it too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need for you to tell me, oh, you know what? My ex used to do that 360 swirl.
Nah.
Hold up.
Leave my ex out of the statement.
Right.
Okay, we don't need to hear that part.
Right.
You can just be like, yo, I came across this position, or can we try something?
Yeah.
Can we try something? And then, cool. Well, oh, yes, of course we can. What is it that you want to try?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about, if you lay this way and, I position myself this way,
whatever.
Let's that way we can play this game, and we can, end up, back this way again. You're like, cool.
Yes. Whatever.
Cool
whatever makes the relationship work. Whatever makes that experience more enjoyable for both of you, you do that. Of course, within your limits, because everyone has limits, right? We don't want to overstep boundaries and things of that nature. But if you're both in agreement with what you're trying to do, then go for it. The conversing about the ex-partners and stuff like that, not a good thing unless, like I said in the beginning, there's something that is detrimental, that may be detrimental to our relationship, that I would not need to know. But all the extra stuff about your sexual positions and things of that nature, just your thing that you've done, I don't need to know that. You can leave that there, but there's a way that you can let me know what you like, and we go from. But yeah, he was like, "Let me get that 360 whirl." Vivid. He was tight. So
Man, listen.
That the ego starts to come up, when in certain situations. But we got to keep our ego out of it. Just have fun, have fun. Well, that concludes another episode of Real Conversation. I'm your host, Terry.
And I'm Nicole Jones. And just so you know, you can email us at realconvospodcast@gmail.com. On Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube, we are real_convos_podcast. And on Facebook, we are Real Conversation.
So thank you so much for watching. God bless.